Welcome, I'm Miss Jill, and this is our In the Know segment. We want to thank you for tuning in. The heart of human excellence often begins to beat when you discover a pursuit that absorbs you, frees you, and gives you a sense of meaning, joy, passion, and purpose to make a positive impact in this journey of life. Tonight, we are speaking on several positive situations, both locally and nationwide. We want to put some good news in your hearts. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
So
good.
I'm going to throw out a
Good to see
question,
you.
an impromptu question.
Okay,
real
what's the
quick.
impromptu question?
Doc V, Miss Veronica,
Oh, wow.
what is your purpose?
What is my purpose?
Yes, if you had to briefly explain what your purpose is, what would you say?
I believe my purpose outside of to worship and serve God is to be, I'm gonna say, a lamp, and to be a voice in our community, a voice in my family, to speak up for what I believe to be right in all situations, whether that's work or home, etc. I believe that's my purpose.
That's
And you
great.
know, that was a beautiful answer. It's almost identical to what I thought you would say, because I think when you can see somebody living out their purpose, even though they didn't directly tell you what it was, you can tell what it was. And I say that to say this. Veronica is part of our family. She's also a finalist as 39
Look at her.
local leaders have been named in the community.
If she don't,
The awards celebrate those who empower and mentor women in Allen County by being the lamp, being the voice, being the matriarch. Winners will be announced May 10th at a Greater Fort Wayne Inc. Women's Network dinner.
Look
That's
at that.
tomorrow.
Look at that. Congratulations. Doc.
39
Look at Doc V.
local
Come on.
leaders.
Watch out, girl.
So we want to give you your flowers.
well, give me my flowers.
I don't have any flowers.
Congratulations, Doc V.
So
Thank
we
you.
wanted to say that first and foremost because it is one of our own, and that's what we are about, is being the lamp, being the light, everything that you said. So
wow.
congratulations. We're super happy
well,
for you.
Well, thank you.
And this is for the it says 4 categories. So corporate nominations, education, nonprofit, and public service. So obviously you are up for the education.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
awesome.
look at that.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Yes. So
Well, y'all so sneaky. So
Hey,
sneaky in here.
Somebody like you in the community. That's
But
what's
listen,
up.
a couple people do.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, listen. So, my question is, where are my
No.
flowers?
Where your flowers?
You know something?
No, but honestly, my question is this: when you asked me that question, I was really eager to hear about your purpose.
Oh, we're not
Your
there yet.
purpose.
That's,
no,
Okay.
no,
that's
wait.
tomorrow.
We're going to talk
See, you're
tomorrow.
not gonna be here tomorrow, so
We had to get yours out.
get yours out early.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
So we do have something coming up this week, Mother's Day. Proverbs 31:31 says, "Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate." Mother's Day. Do we know the origin of Mother's Day? Anybody know where Mother's Day came from?
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't.
I didn't either until today. So, Mother's Day was originated by a woman named Anna Jarvis who lived in Philadelphia. Her mother passed away, and she decided that she wanted to do something to celebrate her mother every single year. Her mother helped organize women's shelters. She was an advocate, and this was a long time ago. So instead of just celebrating her own mother every year, she decided that all mothers should be celebrated. So this happened. It became a national holiday in 1914. So this Sunday, depending on what you want to do with your mom, or if you are doing anything, there are some events. The Clyde, May 14th. Fatima, Washington,
Yes.
May 13th. So May 13th is Saturday. May 14th is Sunday, I believe. Cedar Creek Candle Company, brunch and candle creating. You can look these up on the Fort Wayne, what is it? FortWayne.com, is that where it lists all the events?
Yes.
But you can look that up for times. Botanical Conservatory, Mother's Day in the Garden, both Saturday and Sunday. And the Fort Wayne Zoo, Mother's Day brunch at the zoo all weekend. So, a lot to do.
Who want to
you-
eat at the zoo?
Well,
You
that's
what?
nice.
I
You
said,
what?
Who would want to eat at the zoo?
I would.
Really?
Yeah. You're not like eating with the livestock.
No, it's just the
Come
environment.
on here.
No, I mean it's just the environment.
I wouldn't want to do
Well,
that.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't want to do.
Well, it's not
Well,
for
you-
fathers. It's for
Unless,
mothers.
I was
it's,
gonna say,
unless it's
you
in the
go-
pavilion.
Yeah,
You have to think
yeah.
about they got
That,
Yeah.
but that event with Fatima, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I thought
Because
so
I
too.
love her.
It's
Oh,
actually
they're doing the Lufer. The
Yeah,
Lufer,
Yeah.
the Lufer. Really?
Lufer.
Luther,
The Luther.
band draw,
The Lufer dress band draw.
remix,
I want to know if they're gonna do the big Lufer or the little Lufer.
all of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah.
that should be a good event.
So we are talking about some positive things in the community. Magnificent Freedom Fest, also known as the Juneteenth celebration, is looking for vendors, parade participants, performers, volunteers, as well as anyone who wants to play in any of the tournaments. I think there's a basketball tournament, a kickball tournament, which that would be super fun. Kickball would be
Yeah.
fun.
Actually, we were out there last year, right? And they
It was
did. They had a
wonderful.
basketball. Yeah, it was wonderful. They had a basketball tournament. They had a. I don't think they had kickball last year, but they had many social vendors for different agencies were out there. Then they had food vendors. They had where you could sell your goods if you had goods to sell.
Yeah.
It was in a park, and I think it went most of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So the parade, we covered the parade. It starts at your place. Is it starting at your
Well,
place again this year, Dr.?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I know last year it started
Right.
on the corner of Oxford and Warsaw at Optimistics, and it went all the way up Oxford to McMillan Park. They had the Corvette Club. They had some
Awesome.
dancers. They had some roller skaters. It was a good thing. And then when it got to the park, everybody had a good celebration. They had singers. They had dancers. They had everything. So it's a good time to be out.
You wanna see
Awesome.
me in my roller skates?
No, I didn't catch you in your roller skates. Was you on roller skates?
I was, but I couldn't keep up.
Are they gonna let you in the Corvette Club this year?
You gotta have a Corvette to get in the Corvette club.
Well, she had a clause. She tried to get in. She
She did. She did.
The Trans Am.
Yeah, with the
Because they had
Corvette
the
engine. Yeah,
Corvette engine.
you understood.
They was
No.
they was hating.
Well, it didn't. Nothing. I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, you be quiet.
So if
But
you
we talk about
yeah,
Corvette,
if Veronica does want to get into the parade, the Corvette parade with her Camaro, she would have to
It's not a
It's a
register
Trans Am.
It's a Trans Am.
It's a Trans Am.
register by June 7th to join any of those things or to set up a booth, play in a tournament, set up some food. So you would go to magnificentfreedomfest.com, and it's not magnificent, it's MACK Magnificent
Yes.
freedomfest.com.
Hey, now will my Hot Wheel Corvette count?
I don't know. Can you drive it from? I'm gonna get a Power Wheels. I'm gonna have a Power Wheels vet. I'm gonna
I
drive
got
it.
the Z8. I got the Z08. You know,
oh goodness.
I mean, I could pull it back and then go.
I'm gonna get the Power Wheels. I just need to charge up my battery.
I think the Corvette parade is full, actually. We just got word that is completely booked.
Hey, I got a go-kart Corvette.
That won't work either.
Uh-uh.
So, in addition to news in the community, we want to share some really good internal news. We do have a new show coming up, and we do have a video to watch to kind of be a prelude to that new show. It's a new political show. So, let's go ahead and watch that video.
Hi, I'm C Stats, and we want you to join us this Thursday for Our Neutral Voices as we present The Truth in Politics.
My name is Sean Johnson. I'm the president of the Young Democrats, and I look forward to talking to you about the truth in politics.
Hi, my name is Bree Andrews, and I'm the Director of Diversity and Inclusion for the Allen County Young Democrats. And I'm excited to meet you, so please tune in to our podcast.
Join us this Thursday at 8:30 for Truth in Politics, presented by Our Neutral Voices. Hi, I'm C Stats, and we want you to join us this Thursday.
Clarence, can you tell us a little bit about the commercial and what's to come?
Yes, this Thursday at 8:30, as you heard in the commercial, we're going to start a new program, and it's called The Truth in Politics. Now, The Truth in Politics, we're going to cover everything political, everything. And we picked the name for that because we're not just going to talk about elections. We're not going to talk about voting. We're going to talk about the behind the scenes things of politics. The two young people that are going to be joining us is Sean Johnson. As you know, he just recently ran for to be on the primary ballot for the city council at large position. And the young lady, her name is Bree Andrews. She is the coordinator for diversity and inclusion with the Young Democrats. I think he said the 3rd district of Indiana. So we're going to sit and we're going to talk about politics, and it's good to have young people talk about politics
Absolutely.
and everything. But here's the reason why we have it. There's a lot of miseducation throughout politics from our community and beyond, but our community mostly. So we're going to open some doors. We're going to shed some light so you can have your own view and your own thought. Either vote or not vote, you will be educated through this show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good
We need
addition.
that.
How often will this show be aired?
All right, the premiere show, which is again is this Thursday. It's going to be this Thursday, but we're going to have it this 3rd Thursday of every month. We're going to have, like I say, it's not going to be a Democratic show. It's not going to be a Republican show. It's not going to be. It's going to be a show of politics. So we're going to have everybody come on. We're going to talk about several different subjects. So we hope to, enlighten and give people a better point of view of and understanding what politics is.
Yes, yes, I think that is much, much needed. The next piece of news is actually quite amazing that it doesn't even sound like it's something that would happen. So in New Orleans, a student is graduating high school at the age of 16. Not only that, this gentleman has already had scholarship offers from 149 colleges, totaling $10 million approximately. Dennis Malik Barnes will graduate high school in a couple of weeks with a 4.98 GPA. To put that in perspective, 7% or 1 out of 8 students are likely to even receive a scholarship. And only 0.2% of those students receive upwards of $25,000. So could you imagine at 16 years old? 149 scholarships?
Yeah.
Scholarship
And $10
offers.
million dollars.
Scholarship offers to different 149 different schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you have to clarify that.
Yeah, 149 different schools he was offered. So, I think every Ivy League school in the country is after him. And, apparently the young man has been an outstanding student.
Yeah,
But it's funny. Go ahead, Doctor.
No. Go ahead.
No, I wish he had his computer up, but I'm going to let you go. He might be able to look it up. There was also a 16-year-old girl that was graduating from med school or somewhere recently, and she was 16, and she's actually graduating from college and med school at 16. So, there's some amazing young people out here doing some amazing things.
What I wanted to ask, what is the trick? What is the difference in the student that can do this versus the one that is barely hanging on? And, I'm not talking about students with disabilities or special needs. I'm talking about the average student. What do you guys think, especially as parents? I know sometimes what I think, but I'm in the educational system. I have my own thoughts about that, but I want to hear from a parent's point of view. What do you think it is?
I don't know the difference. This is my opinion. Take all you want and enjoy your night. Child being lazy.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. Lack
So-
of discipline
Yeah, there's a lack of
Period.
Lack
discipline.
of discipline on the parent part or
on the child.
On
Both of them.
On
Both
both
of them.
ends, because at some point you have to get the understanding if I want anything out of life, it's not going to be handed to me. And I just had this. Funny you said that because I just had this speech to my daughter on the way back from picking her up. She got a chance to be a physical therapist. Well, that's what she's studying, but for the football team. And the coach is like, "Well, I need you back by July 31st." She's like, "Dad, I don't want to." Listen here, first and foremost, if you want that,
You got to go get it.
you got to go get it. It's not going to be dropped to you. So with that being said, you got to take the sacrifice to do what you need to do if this is what you're saying you want to do. Now, a lot of kids don't want to take that sacrifice because they feel it's going to be handed to them, drop down in their lap. No, it's not. You got to work for it.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm going to flip that coin, Ed, but you're right, but I'm going to flip that coin. I think there are some people that are gifted, but then there are some people that are environmentally motivated, even external of their parents or whatever, because there are some people that have seen their life in a situation that they don't want it to continue. So they find ways to dig out of those situations. You know, New Orleans, it depends. I mean, it says New Orleans, but you don't know where New Orleans, I don't know, have y'all been to New Orleans recently?
Never.
It's some impoverished areas there. I mean, so it doesn't say what area he's coming out of. So he could come out of an area where he's just looking at just death.
Right.
He's looking at drugs. He's just looking at just destruction all the way around him, but he didn't want to be a part of that. So he found a way. His escape was his education. As long as he stayed there, he found his way, and that's how he made it.
Right.
Man, I give you that
Be
because
good,
I mean, a lot of people fail to realize with kids that are athletes, they think on that level as well. I got to find a way to get out of here. I'm not the brightest person in the world, but I know I can. This talent
Can get me out.
can get me out. So I need to focus on this talent. Yes, I need to get my grades together, make sure my grades is cool. But if I focus on one avenue that I know that could possibly get me out, I'm with you on that one, Clarence.
Yeah, I also think that, my opinion is if you have a growth mindset, whether you're a teenager or an adult, I feel like you can learn anything. I agree some people are gifted, but other people, you can learn anything. There are a lot of things that I do, that all of us do, that we didn't know how to do before. We learned how to do it. We practiced, we trained, we have that growth mindset because we wanted more. So I think a lot of it is like you said, laziness, lack of discipline, lack of accountability from parents, and just not being in the right mindset.
Doc V?
I just was wondering, do we think that it's inherited to, like, just depending on how your parents were raised and how they studied, their study habits, and maybe they pass those on to the child?
Yeah, and I'm going to quote.
Or not?
I'm going to make it light, but I'm going to quote the good Eddie Kane Sr.
But Eddie Kane said,
A lot of people believe this, that you ain't nothing, I ain't nothing, so you ain't going to be nothing. So they don't push their children.
your
They
daddy.
lay that burden of you're not going to be anything. So why try?
And it should be the other way. It should be, I want you to do better than I did.
That's not always the truth.
But and
not always
that's
the
how it
truth.
should be.
How it should be and
I
how
know
it
some
actually.
people
I
don't-
understand what you're saying, but how it should be and how it actually is. There's some people, like, there's cultures of men that don't want their wives educated. There's cultures of where they don't want their daughters educated. There's cultures, and you just got to understand. You got to find a way out. But like I say, not everybody wants the best for even their children. Why would you want your child? And some people think this. Why would you want your child to do better? Because that'll show your failure, and you don't want your failure to shine.
Actually, you know something? I know a couple of people like that. Don't want their child to go above where they at. And it's crazy because the simple fact, the object is, if my child has succeeded me 3 or 4 times over, I have succeeded.
I have succeeded.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's just that simple.
That seems like that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the mindset.
Absolutely.
So if you don't feel that your child, you're a failure because your child went higher than you, actually the object is for wherever you was at, your child should be able to stand on your shoulders.
Amen.
And if he's standing on your shoulders, that means he's up higher than where you at. So that means he's going to take his child up higher. That just makes sense.
Right.
Doesn't make
Right.
sense.
Well, he
Okay.
did actually make plans to enroll. He chose Cornell University. So that was
That's
top Ivy League. But Doc B, from the inside looking in, what do you see the difference between the students?
The discipline, that's a major thing, but a lot of it to me is the parenting. So you have some parents that are just strict, and you're not going out and about and enjoying your friends and hanging out on the weekend or the weekday if your grades aren't up to
Right.
par or you don't have your homework turned in. Some teachers stay in touch, or some parents are in touch with the teacher.
exactly.
They want to know, is this person up to standard or not?
Right.
And then they make, rules accordingly.
Right.
And so I think that matters.
Absolutely.
makes a
I agree.
difference.
Good perspective. So DeMarcus Beasley has been inducted into the 2023 National Soccer Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So I know that we have mentioned him on the panel a few times. So I know, Clarence, you have talked about him before.
Yes.
I believe all of you have talked about him before in some shape or form. So let's talk a little bit about that.
You know, we were on a sports show afterwards. We talked about the GOAT conversation, and we were talking about levels and how you would find somebody to define him as a GOAT. This young man at the age of 12, 13, and 14, all the way through his soccer career at Southside, was nationally ranked. He was always looked at. I think he went pro right out of
Yeah,
high
he did.
school. People were all over the world wanted him to play soccer. I mean, from, as we would say, little old Fort Wayne, but people from all over the world. And this gentleman, he exceeded on every level. He's an Olympic medalist. He's a world champion. He's a champion whatever league he went in when he left high school. This young man has succeeded. And the thing is, though, why is Fort Wayne so mummered about it? It's not a celebration, you know. They talk about it, but it's not anything. I mean, why hadn't they given the key to the city yet? Why didn't they have the DeMarcus Beasley Day? I mean, these things, this young man has succeeded. A lot of expectations from where he's come from, south side of Fort Wayne, and he's done wonderful things to end up. And if you want to equate his legacy or his success, like a Kevin Garnett in the NBA. I mean, he went and did his thing and dominated right out of high school.
So maybe if Fort Wayne gets a soccer team,
He has one.
He has one.
I was gonna say, so would it be on a different league now that the answer?
That's a basketball.
I know. I'm just saying. So now that the focus won't be on the ants. I mean, we had the ants for a while.
Right.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm saying maybe more things will happen if they truly focus on
Right.
Right.
Soccer.
And DeMarcus brought the soccer team here. It's Fort Wayne Football Club, I think it is. So this young man needs all the accolades, all the celebration, all the kudos, and
in
everything.
addition to his athletic abilities, something I found out as we're talking about purpose, he is and has always been very passionate about helping and doing things in the community. They asked him, how he got into soccer. He said, one day my dad just brought home a ball and my brother and I were messing around in the yard and we didn't even know soccer existed outside of our yard until he realized that he wanted to play. His brother also played.
Yeah.
So he said he didn't really notice it when he was younger, but he knew that there wasn't a lot of other kids that looked like him that were playing soccer. He said they started to travel around to different places in Indiana, and he realized that they were the diversity. And he saw how well, no matter color or anything, everybody meshed together. So something he said he would always be passionate about is trying to be an inspiration to, young teenagers, that were opposed to playing soccer because soccer was a white sport. So I found, he wrote about when he finally realized this was when he was a teenager and he looked up to these two older guys that were playing, what do you call, like pro soccer, however you call it. And
MLS.
he said, I looked up there and said, they made it. I can make it too. And he said he realized his purpose when two younger kids walked up to him quite recently and said, you are the reason I played soccer. You were the first Black man that showed me that I can do whatever I wanted to do. You are my idol. So in addition to all of his abilities, he sounds like a really awesome person
He is.
when
He
it
is.
comes to what he wants to do.
Well, his whole family is.
His mom and dad are
Mom and
wonderful
dad,
people.
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very, very humble. His brother is as well. I mean, I went to school with his brother. I didn't go to South, but we graduated nearly the same time, and I knew his brother. And they always been just like a normal. And they don't. You wouldn't think. You would think, oh, they would have the big head, but no, they was very humble, very
Really?
laid back, just normal kids.
Yeah.
Seriously,
yeah.
it was just normal kids.
I love that. And I'm with you. I can't believe that it, you have to dig to find something like this, that it's not all over the place.
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy.
Yes. Lastly, we are going to talk about purpose tomorrow. V, like you said you're not going to be here because we are
Is she
going.
living in her purpose
We
tomorrow?
are going to get into
She
our
living in her
purposes
purpose.
tomorrow.
She totally is. She totally is.
It will be over by the time you guys get on the panel.
Will it?
You will know.
Are you going to let us
Either-
know?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Either
okay.
way.
Okay. So yes,
You got it.
congratulations to DeMarcus Beasley.
you.
Congratulations to Miss Veronica
Thank you.
Towns
Thank
for
you.
doing
Keep saying
what
Miss
you
Veronica
do.
Towns.
I'm trying to be proper.
No, the proper way to address her is doctor.
No, I like to call her Miss.
No, it's doctor.
Doctor.
Let's put the real
Veronica.
handle on it.
The gentleman on the end is making the rules.
I'm just saying, let's put a handle on it. If you're gonna do it right, do it right. Let's put a handle
Back
on
on
it.
her name. Put some
I
respect.
mean,
Welcome
let's
to
be
Neutral
realistic
Voices.
about it.
Welcome to Neutral
Hey, I got a
Voices.
question
We
though.
are here.
Yes.
Do anybody know why the Mad Ants leaving?
They mad?
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
it was an NBA decision. The G League, they say that the attendance, they're prospecting that since it's closer to Indianapolis and they're a Pacer affiliate, that they're going to bring more fans and it's going to be a bigger draw than Fort Wayne.
Do you agree?
No, the attendance in the Mad Ants, since they've been here, they won a championship 6 years ago. I mean,
Yeah, they won it back to back.
They,
I know, but you don't think they'll do better in Indy?
they're not going to Indy.
They're gonna Noblesville.
They're going to Noblesville.
Oh, I thought
Still
you said. I
Indy.
thought you just said Indy.
Well, it's closer to
Well,
Indy.
I'm
It's still
saying
Indy. It's just
they're gonna draw the people from Indy too. You know?
Yeah, it's just like Fort Wayne and New Haven.
yeah.
That's how Noblesville and
I think
Indianapolis.
they're gonna do better.
But don't you think Fort Wayne's going to take a hit because of this?
Yeah.
I mean,
Major
that'll be
hit.
interesting.
Yeah,
Well-
but how many Ants game have you been to
I've been to quite a few.
Me too.
this year?
This year I haven't been as
Yeah,
many
that's what I was
because
saying.
life has been, in the way. But yeah,
I'm saying I think COVID changed some things, and I don't know if people got back in there like they wanted them to.
that
So,
may be true too.
mhm.
Well, I mean, the Coliseum ain't been packed since Master P played.
You haven't seen the gun show or Vera
No,
Bradley.
I'm talking about the basketball.
It was back the year they won a championship.
No,
They sold out. Yes,
They sold out.
they sold
You
out.
sure?
Yes.
Just because they tell you they sold out, and you see all the empty seats when they show them.
That's
Stop.
always true. That always happens when they sit there. And it's like, what about that seat? Like they're
What
sold
about
out.
that seat over there? That seat.
Yeah.
Over, what about that whole section that's just empty?
But I like I said, I just think it was an NBA decision. But we might do it on the sports show what the impact that's going to be
Yes.
because of the Mad Ants, because of the NBA draw, they were having those college tournaments and things like that.
Yep,
So
drawing people here.
what's going to be the follow up of that?
I absolutely feel like we're going to take a hit, but we'll follow that and see what happens with it.
Yes.
We do want to thank you for joining us once again. But before we go, we want to leave you with this. God created every one of us. He created everything to serve and to serve a purpose. There is no greater gift that you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It is why you were born and how you become most truly alive. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." We keep moving in order to survive, but we walk within our purpose in order to truly live. So join us tomorrow at 8:30 as we speak in depth about purpose. E, what do we always say?
Always protect your mind.